Yeah, I'm here. I'm Greg.
Shit.
All right, last week on... What did you screw up, Keith?
No, you.
Oh, okay.
It's
Last week on
you.
Dungeons and Dragons, Grave of Man, we walked
I
forward from
already
the
broke
hallway
his
that we
character
were...
in the first sentence.
We were walking through the hallways, and we found some other shit, and we probably killed that shit. It was 2 weeks ago. Or rather, it was 35 seconds ago. I don't really remember. We stumbled upon these people that we released earlier. I think.
But
It's been a while. Alarin, I'm giving the recap. Faults and all. Whether it's accurate or not, you'll have to take that up with you and Jesus. But right now, it's me right now. And some stuff happened. We got new character tokens. Hello, people to my right. You look very nice. Good job on the art, Wander. Anyway, we're here now. Ha!
I just have one tiny comment about the art, which is that when it's scaled down, the one with the black beard looks like he's like a :3 face.
What?
Oh, yeah.
He looks so pleased.
All right. I feel like my
Okay.
recap was beyond the pale awful. Wait. I feel like my recap was beyond the pale awful, so if someone wants to supplement that, feel free.
Well, last week, Greg came to my homeland, and then I came to him, and we had food with
No, shut
optional
up.
tomato side quests.
Yeah,
Shut
for people
up.
wondering why D&D was kind of off the past week, it's because Bird and Keith decided to have a nice luncheon date.
We had
Wait,
a
they
Yeah.
actually did?
Yeah.
We had,
Yeah, I
we
flew
had
to Northern
French
California.
brunch.
We had a brunch at a French restaurant. It was very,
had-
very good.
I had French brunch in California with a vegan.
In Berkeley, of all places.
Wow.
I had
Did,
to- I had
did
to
you
go- I
just
had to-
grow a plaid shirt on? Or like,
I had
We
to
went to a
palate-
protest afterwards
to
to really
palate
top
cleanse.
it off.
I had to palate cleanse this weekend by visiting my dad's motorcycle garage.
Alrighty, cool. Shall we,
okay.
I don't know if that
Well,
was an accurate recap
so-
at all.
we-
Does somebody
we
want to
also met-
actually sum that up?
We've been going through
We also
hallways and
met-
fighting things, and also I found out that I might be
Yeah.
the bad guy.
So you guys...
They spoke in lizard tongue.
yeah.
And Shell
At
tried
each other
to
for a
talk to
very
the
long
villain
time.
for like 30 minutes.
Well, it was
Which
a
is funny.
giant
A non-sentient
viscous
villain.
blob of the remnants of what used to be the souls of people that have been expended in the dastardly experiments of the druids.
Make perception checks, by the way.
Okay.
So I have a Greg Geknu sheet and a Dimitri X sheet, and my Dimitri X sheet has Greg Geknu's portrait, and my Greg Geknu has nobody, and it throws me off
You did it.
100% of the time. I'm average. Hooray-ish.
Okay. So the only thing that Alarin and Greg, you guys notice, because it's kind of obvious, the elf, because I drew the 3 characters you ran into, the elf is wearing a fake beard.
Of course, Greg and I would notice this, seeing as how we both have hair.
Yes.
Well, it's more so just that it's, I mean, he's got the, like, string looped over his ears and everything.
I'm not convinced you have hair.
Which one's the elf?
It's the blonde guy with the pointy ears. It's a dwarf, an elf,
Can't you
and
tell?
a
They're
silver...
different colors.
Oh, yeah,
Uh,
they are.
Maybe
Silver
he
dragon
just has a
colors.
skitter belt.
Hey, liking your beard there. You, what sort of cream do you use in it?
Well, you see, it's,
Here's-
all natural.
Beard
All,
cream.
all natural beard cream, huh?
Yes. Well, no,
Made
no,
from...
I don't cream this beard. That sounded weird.
Huh. What an awkward sentence you've uttered.
Look, I'm just it's new growth.
So
I'm
do
getting used
you,
to
do you dye your beard a different color from your hair, or how does that all work out?
Beard
He's
creamers
like-
has to be a gay site.
it. Beard creamers, gay website for dwarves.
Gross.
It's like Grinder.
But it's called Creamer. Cream.r.
Wow.
Anyway.
Anyway, he looks kind of uncomfortable, and he's like kind of gonna try and move behind the dragon folk, who is significantly bigger than the rest of the party.
Hold on, I want to talk about beards. I have a beard. I turn to the guy with the black beard and I say, like, look, yeah, beard cream isn't a real thing, right?
I wouldn't know, actually.
Oh, you sound intelligent. Would you like to
I-
discuss stratagems?
Well, sure, though. I mean, we are stuck in a prison. I'm not entirely sure how much strategy we should discuss. Apart
I've
from
recently
getting
put
out of
on a
here.
crown that makes me smarter.
I-
Greg like points at the crown very proudly.
It's a
Oh,
McDonald's
that's
kids menu crown.
the Burger King crown.
No, it's got to be like one of those whoopee caps, like that Jughead wore from Archie Comics.
Which one? The one with the little like propeller?
Oh, a beanie. Yeah, we'll go with the beanie.
Tritons have
That's my
no need for
headcanon.
creams because we are always surrounded by liquid.
Do you have a beard, Lauren?
No.
Oh. Well, anyway, we're having a beard talk right over here.
I've seen you surrounded by a liquid like once.
Well, that's most Tritons exist in the ocean. We rarely ever.
Oh my
traipse onto
god, we
land.
know. Every time we have a conversation, you talk about your fish business.
Fending off the Leviathans.
Make perception
I'm
checks.
aware of the Leviathans. What does a Leviathan even look like, Shell? I mean, shit, Alarm.
Really staying in character great so far.
Shut the hell up, Keith. What is the... Shut up, Drez. Damn it.
You have to
You're making
agree
this
to
hard, and I'm also drunk.
They come in a multitude of forms.
So Drez, you hear the dragonborn whisper to the elf, "Do we bicker this much?" And the elf just like very subtly shakes his head.
Alarin, what does a Leviathan look like?
Take me with you.
Well, as I said, they come in a multitude of forms and a multitude of sizes.
You've
Though
met one dumbass.
They tend... Huh?
Shh, don't listen to God.
Wait, you are a Leviathan?
No.
This is
I'm all
delayed
ears, though.
revelation.
I'm all ears, though. If I had a Leviathan, I'd have gills. Greg points to his ungilled neck.
I was meaning the beast.
Well,
Is
he
that
was
gonna-
talking to.
Oh, he was only talking to Greg?
Yeah, he doesn't
Yeah.
talk to you much.
Oh,
Is that gonna be the plot twist though? Greg gets shot through the heart and transforms into a Leviathan.
Ah. You hit him with Moonbeam, and he just turns into a 60-foot long horror monster from the Eldritch Depths.
I wanted to hear 60-foot Eldritch monster from Alarin.
I come from
Galarin?
Shalarin.
Yes? What?
What's the most terrifying Leviathan you've ever seen?
The most terrifying Leviathan I've ever seen? Why? My own father slayed it with his own magic. It was, how many years ago? Probably a decade ago. I was but a young priest, well, not quite priestess, I suppose, one of the songstresses. Under the tutelage of my mother. There was a great
What did your mother
battle.
do?
Well, she was one of the songstresses, one of the sirens.
What's a siren do in society for your people?
Well, they're healers, and like what I do with this group, bolster everyone's morale and use our abilities to, heighten those of our warriors.
Drez, has Alarin done that much healing? I don't really remember.
Never.
Well,
So, if songstresses are healers, why have you not done all that much healing?
This
part
is a
of it
weird
is we don't have enough
conversation
time to
have
rest.
with strangers.
We're like in times of rest between battles, we're supposed to sing songs to heal the wounds of those who have accrued them in battle. But unfortunately, everyone just takes a long rest and uses rations or something else. No one ever asks me to sing for them.
Tell you what, next time we take a long rest, I'm gonna ask you to
She
sing.
is currently like sprinting in a figure eight.
Lauren always does that. Lauren's done that as long as we've known her, Drez. You need to pay attention to your friends.
She's got like
It's my way to gesticulate.
she's got
with an
turbo
icon.
restless leg syndrome.
She runs laps around you while talking to you.
She has midlife crisis syndrome.
All right. So, I was but a small child and watched from a great distance as my father and his band of warriors faced one of the largest leviathans I'd ever seen. And
Yeah?
its name was Abraxas.
Abraxas, huh?
Yeah. With multiple A's in a row. So it's more like Abraxas.
So Wanda, how confused are the
Abraxas.
new people?
Well, they look like they're used to this.
They have
Drez,
a
let me have my character development over
Do they
here.
have a lore
okay?
jumper in their party?
So, how does somebody sing when they're underwater? How does that even work?
I mean,
Ask
the
Sebastian.
vibrations can actually carry a fairly long distance.
So, like, when you go above water, is your voice a lot higher pitched than when it is below water?
They all just sound like whales underwater.
Yeah.
I've never actually, like, listened that close. I assume it's gotta be, like, real different sounding to you when you're above water, huh?
Well, you see, above water, we have to use air. Of course.
She sounds like a dying fish, Drez. I'm blue. I'm a dude. I'm a die.
Underwater, it's far more melodic. Let's just put it that way.
Who taught you how to sing?
My mother. I mean,
Ariel.
she was the siren, after all.
So she just passed it down to you?
No, they would sing with me ever since childhood, and I tried to mimic her. And then
What'd you
as
pick up from your dad?
my dad, well,
You
his
picked up how to
knowledge-
be a muse from your mother. What'd you pick up from your father?
Well, his understanding of the leviathans. Well, pretty much just being able to identify different varieties of leviathans, where their weak points are, how to potentially communicate with the ones that are less hostile. There are a
Your
couple
dad
ones
seems
that.
particularly utilitarian compared to your mother.
Oh
Your
yeah.
mom teaches you the arts. Your dad teaches you, here's how you stab a leviathan.
Well, he was always
Use
a
the
very
pointy end.
quiet father figure. He was very practical.
That's
He's a-
interesting.
Yes, but I sometimes suspect that part of his dark demeanor was in part influenced by whatever being he had made a pact with to become a warlock.
That's very interesting. I was never all that close to my parents.
Really? You had parents? I mean, you must have.
Well, I
if you're
mean,
mammalian in nature.
You don't just spawn from a bubble like the orcs from Sauron.
nah. Honestly, all I remember is I woke up one day in the middle of the woods, and that was basically it.
I thought bugbears hatched from eggs.
No, that's dogs.
Oh,
This is the weirdest thing to talk about in
They
front
have
of these
Well, I
new
mean,
people.
I may have hatched from an egg when I was really, really little, but when I was like, I don't know.
People
I
with
know
ni-
someone
people
who's
with
hatched
from an
nipples
egg.
don't hatch.
I look at Drez. Dreg must have hatched from an egg.
Yes, you're catching up.
Drez.
You also hatched from an egg.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what. What do Tritons come from?
Do you have a
No,
belly
your
button or not?
father, your mom went down into a pool and she like out a bunch of eggs, and your dad came by and went and like fertilized the eggs, and then you and 1,000
Yeah,
sisters.
your parents
were
crossed the
like,
streams
"Yay."
and you came out.
You know, there are actually some animals that have, fish that have internal gestation, just like other creatures, like sharks. Some sharks.
Sharks
do.
are mammals.
No, they're not mammals, but some of them actually do carry their young inside their bodies.
Yeah. Well, anyway, like I said, I kind of woke up one day and I was alive. Unlike my brothers who were and sisters, they probably died when way before they were able to remember anything. You know, on account of being born in the middle of the woods. They probably got eaten by like a mountain lion or something like that. At any rate, I was alive, so I started punching shit until I became really, really good at punching shit. Then I got a job at punching shit with Gorlar. Back then I was pretty bad at it. I got better. That's Greg's bio.
Did the lube help?
I like it how we're on like episode 68 and we're finally learning who some of these characters are.
You really don't want to say punching shit with Gorlar
Wander.
after what we found.
It's fine.
Just let it flow. Right now, God.
I am letting things flow.
Was that one book we found about punching shit with Gorlar?
That book is non-canon.
The book's definitely canon. I'm gonna mention it every episode.
I never got to describe Abraxas.
Tell me about Abraxas. I want to know.
Isn't he supposed to be an indescribable horror? Isn't that the point?
Right, but I mean, I could still see him from the depths. I mean, just quite.
What did it look like? Describe the indescribable horror.
Okay, imagine a beast that is hundreds of feet long. It has a very long neck with a singular eye on it. And it has a toothy maw.
I think I can spot
mandibles.
Its weakness. It's one eye.
I was gonna say, I bet it opens its eye and you shoot it in the eye with a bow.
And it goes,
except you're underwater, so you can't.
You have to shoot it 4 times with a bow.
Shut up.
And it turns into a
Let
harpies.
Lauren tell the story.
And it has several rows of mandibles that help grab passersby and drag it into its mouth. And then it has all these bioluminescent dots that go down the length of its body to its main torso, where there's several rows of fins and 2 large grippers that, once again, also used to grab its enemies. And then it has just several tails. Couldn't quite count how many there were, but they each had suckers and tentacles on the ends and woo, all over the place. And it used that to propel itself, and it always surrounded itself in a thick ink.
God damn. What'd your dad do to defeat this thing?
Called on the power of his patron, an undescribable power. It was.
What's a patron and how can I get one?
Well, sometimes they're demons, sometimes they're eldritch beings like the beasts. Then there's also the Fae. But he never did describe who precisely he had made a pact with. Sometimes the pact masters don't want their underlings to disclose who precisely they've sworn fealty to. But
oh, interesting.
Yeah, so
So what led you to coming to this city to try and find your father?
Well, it seemed as though the Leviathans had calmed, and the rift certainly hadn't been closed, but nothing more was coming through. So it seemed as though the land was at rest, and then suddenly my father disappeared.
What drew him to this specific city?
Well, I set out and I inquired with the local sea creatures as to where he may have fled.
Aquaman style.
Yes!
Fishies.
Yes!
Tell me where my father went. Blah, 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 blah.
Precisely. You know, it could have been a whale or a pod of dolphins or a school of fish.
Interesting.
Yeah. And they led me here.
I'd wonder what my father did, but to be honest, bugbears, well, I'm assuming my father was just a professional kill smasher. That's really the one occupation. So bugbears have we have a pretty simple lifespan. It's kill everything and have kids. And if something gets in the way of you having kids, you probably want to kill that thing. So that's probably what my dad did. I never met him, But
So
there
that's
you go.
what happened to your siblings.
Well, so that's an interesting story, actually. One time I ran into my brother, and he was like, "Hey, Greg, how you doing?" And I was like, I hit him with a club, and I killed him.
I'm Naruto.
All I'm saying is that, like, in nature, it's kill or be killed. And, I'm here, so you can probably surmise what I did. My mom, pretty much the same line of work. She killed a bunch of things and then had a baby. And that was Greg. Yeah. Dimitri had a lot more subtle of a story. I'm a bear.
You're not a bear.
Would you like to hear about hibernation techniques?
You're not a bear.
Well, actually, I was reading about
Unless
bugbears
we want to
in the
retcon you
Monster
into being a
Manual,
werebear.
and they do like to snooze and sleep when they aren't killing things.
Somebody was demanding that I make Greg into a werebear, and I'm like, I don't want to touch that.
It does fit
I
more
don't
than
want you
being
to
a
touch that
bugbear at
either.
this point.
It's true.
Because bugbears don't look or act or seem anything like that character.
Yeah, I guess, I mean, that really summarizes my life up until I met Gorlar, but, I mean, that was basically like, honestly, the way it worked out was I saw somebody passing through the woods, and they were really, really rich. They had some really sweet stuff. They had a really badass horse that tasted delicious, might I say. And, I saw this guy and I was like, man, I want a piece of that. I was pretty good at killing at the time. I wouldn't say I was great at it, but I definitely had the knack. And, well, turns out that the guy that I killed worked for Gorlar. So Gorlar shows up, and, well, not Gorlar himself, but one of Gorlar's lieutenants shows up. It was actually Gruck. And, Gruck and I, we got into a wrestling match for, like, I want to say it was probably 4 days straight. We
And
were
you won?
No, it was a draw. We wrestled for 4 days. Neither of us going to sleep the entire time. Finally, we just both collapsed from exhaustion, and I woke up before he did.
Chapter 3 in that book.
I woke up before he did. So the very first thing I did was I prepared him a field roast, and I figured we would commence more wrestling and stuff like that. I'm not going to kill somebody who's asleep. But anyway, he came through, and he said that he was very impressed with my ability to hold up in the wrestling match. And we got to talking, and he figured I could probably get work killing people.
Oh,
So,
Greg,
yeah.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but I have to tell you something about Gruck.
What about Greg?
Well, when we were teleporting the black box and him... Wait, this was after Dimitri had possessed him, or... I don't know. Well, he actually came out of the black box, which was from the other dimension, and he had aged about 50 years. And he had a big white bushy beard. And
Oh, yeah?
I forgot what he told me. It was something about how we... I don't know. We pretty much... time passed normally for him in there, and... Oh, I don't know. But he left, and I just feel so bad because it turns out that we had accidentally sent him through some kind of weird time continuum, and... So all I'm saying is that if you meet him again, he'll be a lot older than he was initially.
You interrupted the sweaty wrestling and shit punching.
I almost feel bad for him. Almost.
Well, yeah, because now if you wrestle again, I mean, he's gonna
I'll
be so
win,
much
and it
older
won't be
than
that
you.
hard. Exactly.
And he likes
Yeah,
it when it's
I mean-
hard.
Gruck was really my training partner. You know, when I joined Gorlar's clan, you know, Gruck was really kind of my mentor almost. We would wrestle, gosh, every day almost. And you know what we would do? One of us would get really good, and then the other would kind of catch up, and that's how I kind of became Gorlar's second hand man. And Gruck, he really rose up. But the thing about Gruck was that he was slightly smarter than I was, so he got promoted to kind of pursue a more intellectual track. He could add 2 + 2 and arrive at, numbers that I can't even count to.
I was gonna say, but you can't answer that question with the answer.
But that's old Gruck. Gruck Smart Good is what I used to call him. I was pretty bad at insulting people. Anyway, yeah, that was I don't know. I figure, God, we've been adventuring together for a long time and don't really know each other. But maybe now's the time. In front of all these random peoples.
Oh,
Right
don't
now,
mind
we're-
us.
when
I'm
we're
enjoying
surrounded
this.
By 8 people.
The dwarf is like sitting down, looks comfortable. The lizard folk and drow seem to be completely disinterested and staring at the wall.
Yeah, but I wonder if my father could actually be of aid to us. I mean, when he defeated Abraxas, he essentially incinerated the creature from the inside out. It was amazing.
How'd he do that?
As I said, with just a beam of ember-colored energy, just
How do you do that? You gonna learn how to do that?
He just poked it in the eye.
For massive damage. How do you know how he did that? I would like to learn how to make a beam come out and be like.
it's because
He cast Din's fire.
Shut up.
No, he channeled the immense power of his patron. But as I said, I don't know if his patron is a demon or a god or an eldritch beast. It
Do you
could
have a
be
patron?
anything. No, you have to find a patron and get them to make a bond with you.
How? How do you find a patron?
Well, they have to be an immense being. Sometimes you're on the verge of death and they come to you and you have to offer up your soul to them, or sometimes you find them in the middle of the woods if, say, they're a fey creature and they say, as a reward for traipsing upon my sacred grove.
Hey, dead god.
What?
Dead gods. You want to be my patron?
Sure.
What?
What
Now-
sort of patron powers are you going to give me
Now
aside
they
from
know
ones
that
you've
you
already
talked
given me?
to a dead god.
I mean, we could go over the laundry list, but I think it would be a little bit long. You should really probably wait until the next nap time, or maybe break between episodes so the DM can have time to work out the details.
I'm not sure.
Shut
if I
up,
should be
God.
more worried about the new part.
I'm
of
talking to
life
dead god
or
here,
the
not
evil
real
lizards.
god.
We
No,
share notes.
Now the
All right,
new
we'll work
party
this
and
out
the
between
evil
episodes.
lizards all know that you have a dead god in your head.
So what about you, Skitter? What's your background?
I mean, you kind of
You
know
were
it.
there.
Yeah. You guys.
No. I mean, how were you
Before.
born? How does a
Oh.
goblin
Let's
get born?
not talk
Mommy
about how
goblin
goblin
and daddy
mating habits
goblin.
go.
Don't kill
Oh
each
my
other for
god,
5
skip
minutes.
ahead like 3 minutes until after the coitus, okay?
The whole business
then
is kind of a
gestation.
public ceremony. This is not a good one. Let's move past that. So I was a goblin grunt, but I was slightly smarter than the other goblin grunts. So they're like, here's like the Kobold Squad. Work together. You two are in charge of organizing, dealing with it, and I was fine with that up until everyone got killed and you guys took me along.
So are goblins
I'm
live
kinda
birth,
simple.
egg birth, or they explode out of their mom like an alien?
Ew, you fucking weirdo. Ignore Drez, he's weird. Drez.
Actually, don't goblins have like brood mothers or something?
Please, let's not talk about goblin
Don't
mating
talk
habits.
about my mother.
How many siblings do you think you have? Estimate, I'm curious.
Living or not?
Total.
Oh.
Because living is 0. Let's be
Half or
honest.
full siblings?
Full.
Okay. In that case, I think it's 5.
How many of your siblings has Greg halved?
I'm gonna be
Ew.
honest. Let's work this out. I think it. No. It's lower bound is 2. I've killed a lot of things. All right,
Yeah,
Skitter.
but you've directly killed 2 in front of me.
No.
Yes,
I
yes,
think
yes, yes, yes.
it's been 8.
Were they in
My,
the room?
my like
I have
fingers
5 direct siblings.
wilted.
2 were with me. You killed both of them.
Okay, I killed 2 of those. I remember that. They were named Scatter and Splatter. And well, Splatter, he lived up to his name. Scatter kind of lived up to his name. His organs did anyway. Greg studies Skitter's face and then realizes he should probably back off of this conversation slightly.
He is definitely, there's definitely like a hint of like, how many sneak attacks would it take to get to the center of a Gregsicle?
Greg needs to roll a
Guys.
tact save.
Greg, how could you be so callous?
Look,
If you use
I'm-
your hands a lot, you get a lot of calluses.
I'm a murder machine. Okay, let's be honest. In the past 20 minutes, I've realized that other people actually have feelings. Okay, do you know how much of a revelation that is to me? I went
You
my
realize
entire
people have
life.
feelings, but you haven't realized how to be sensitive about things.
Well, give me a fucking minute, okay? This is the first conversation since I learned. Okay,
Would you say that you're still feeling out feelings?
Greg sits down with his legs crossed and he says, Skitter, I want you to tell me how you feel when I say I killed your brothers.
Honestly, it's mostly just the fact that you pressed the issue. They were kind of dicks.
So,
I mean, how much
Okay.
did you like your ogre buddies from Gorlar's group? Not much, right? I mean,
well,
you killed like
that's
way
a
more of your
compliment.
friends than you killed any of my siblings.
Greg actually looks really confused as he like a look of shock overtakes him right now as he's like comprehending the fact that he actually killed things.
He's
Oh
becoming
no,
a
you
pacifist,
realizing
and
how
this
many
is
actual
scary.
lives you've ended?
Yeah, exactly.
You're suddenly smart enough to see what you've done to the world.
Next up, he's going to discover that he's mortal and will die potentially if he keeps traipsing into combat. Like
Wait till you remember what happened to the kingdom.
What was the question again? How it felt when I killed all my ogre friends? I mean, in the
mean-
moment, it felt like, hey, one less person up to the Gorlar rank.
You
Oh,
killed both of the
shit, we
Minotaurs
killed Gorlar.
twice.
Maybe.
We don't really know if that was Gorlar or a copy of Gorlar or a manifestation that appeared
I
to
gotta
be Gorlar.
imagine that, like, with the absence of Gorlar, everything's gone to total hell with this clan, don't you think?
What clan?
The clan that you were a part of.
Yeah,
Clan that I was a
there's
part
not,
of.
There's not much left. Like, I
Did
didn't
I
show you
really
the
kill
mass
that
grave.
much of it?
That like weird hell abyss portal. Gorlar was doing some shady shit.
I mean, remember, a lot of them were husks of themselves. They were just perforated by crystals. They were
Yeah.
comprised of crystals. They were just wearing the skin.
Gorlar always had that about him. He could never really be content with the level he was at. He was always striving. He was always trying to get more power. In the sense of Gorlar, it was mostly trying to get more people under his command. He was such a dick.
He had control issues.
Ah, man, tell me about it. Hey, Skitter,
Yeah.
how would you like to be my maid man? Want to form a clan right here, right now? Let's make it happen.
I mean, I guess.
You, me, Alar, and Drez. We'll make this happen right here. New clan.
A clan? But what does that constitute? Like,
Well,
That's
I mean, if
the
we're going
ultimate
by
sign of
Gorlar
brotherhood.
standards, it's worrying. If we're not going by Gorlar standards, it could go okay.
It's the ultimate sign of brotherhood. Every bugbear is born into a clan. and they're bound by blood. I gotta figure, with Gorlar dead, I got a lot of blood to spare. So, I totally don't mind right here, right now. I turn towards the lizard men and the elves. You all can get a part of this too. If you feel like
You're
it.
literally
Nope.
in a clan already.
We can perform the blood bond right here.
Wait, blood? What?
Yeah.
You could not have chosen a more awkward
Greg-
time in the entire campaign to talk about joining a clan.
You can shut the fuck up.
It's literally
Greg
when
pulls
I'm
out
surrounded by
an
people
axe.
that I'm trying
No!
to appease.
Greg pulls out an axe and cuts along his
Roll
palm.
a die 20.
Oh no!
Oh,
What is
shit.
your axe of burning
You
wonder?
petrify your entire bloodstream. All of this character
Oh,
development.
thank God.
Okay.
It's like an episode of
You're
Survivor.
good.
All this character development's just leading up to your
I was
death.
really hoping for a natural 1 or a natural
Oh,
20.
that would have
just
been
for
the
most-
greatest thing.
The most
yeah.
epic blood
So
sacrifice
Greg
ever.
Greg
This-
cuts along the palm of his hand and starts producing a sliver of blood, and he says, "Skitter,
Yeah.
if you do the same for me that I just did for you, then we are
His
bound
hand
by
is already
blood."
bleeding. You didn't notice it happen.
Wait, what?
All right.
What?
I shake hands with Skitter,
Yeah.
and I
Ew.
say I
Ew.
start chanting the words of a blood pact of
That's
bugbears.
unsanitary.
And I
Ah!
say, your blood has mixed with mine, and I with yours. We are
Which
now.
one of them gains a disease?
We are now
not me.
together.
I'm immune to conventional diseases.
But,
Yeah,
but
probably
are
me
you
too.
carrying them?
I'm not a rat.
What?
Shut up! We're performing the blood bond.
You can
You
not.
can do this next if you
You
want.
cannot have
God
symptoms
damn.
and still
Uh,
carry diseases.
Tritons don't believe in self-harm.
You and I are one, bound by blood. Whatever happens to you, so happens to me. I forget the rest of it. It probably ends in some stupid bullshit. Welcome to my clan.
I think that's actually the most intelligible blood sacrifice I've ever heard. Usually it's just a lot of screaming.
Yeah, Gorlar killed a lot of people with more decapitation and less vocal cords.
Yeah.
Drez, you want in on this? I extend a bloody, shitty palm to fucking Drez.
Just like roll backwards over the table.
You notice Skitter's sitting there waiting for you, hand ready. Don't wanna be here. Okay, so you push past the three strangers who have been watching this with, as far as you can tell, basic
Amusement.
amusement, somewhat interest, and so on and so forth. And you find yourself in a small storage room filled with what looks to be green crystals and other assorted kind of druidy reagents.
What happened is that this is like when you're at an awkward dinner party with your friends and your family, and there's things you haven't told both of them, and the conversations come up where the shit's gonna happen, so you just excuse yourself and then you jump out a window.
Yeah, you're gonna go pet the
'Cause
cats.
I'm quote unquote in a clan with 3 people in this room already, but
That's
also
what I
maybe
always
they're
do at
evil, and I
family
don't really want to talk
parties.
about my backstory because I can't tell who knows what or what's true about myself, but also I don't want to contradict
Yeah, go pet the,
the
cats.
weird
We
narrative
fucking
of
know.
the evil lizards right
Actually, nah, usually dogs.
now. So
I like
I'm
to play with all
"Peace
the
out."
dogs.
Even though my backstory is that I'm Naruto.
Cute.
We did that on accident. Wander
Oh.
and I each came up with parts of the character until we realized that we just made Naruto.
Yeah,
And we're like, shit.
except for instead of a nine-tailed fox inside of Drez, it's just Drez inside of Drez.
Dragon Drez inside of shittier Drez.
Yeah,
What's special about me? I don't know.
Something Leviathans. Wow.
Okay, so
Wow.
Drez, you find some shit in here. Specifically, you find a whole boatload of upgrade orbs.
Oh shit. And they're all mine. And no
Yep.
one knows.
You find so a bunch of basic ones. Let's say about, I don't know, You find 11.
Jesus.
I rolled high. Huh.
Jesus.
All right.
I think I've had 2 so far, or maybe
Yeah,
1.
well, now you've just got a hell of a dump. You also find what looks to be paint, kind of not unlike what you had with the turtle paint.
Just paint.
Yeah, it's not labeled.
I smell it.
Okay,
Ew.
it smells spicy.
I don't know what that means. Is there any knowledge check that could be useful?
It would be probably arcane.
Shit.
Huh.
It's ghost pepper paint. Is there anything else in the room?
There is. There's actually like probably about 10 spell crystals as well in a bag.
Ah.
They're green. Oh, and I guess lastly, seeing as this is the druid set and I've been waiting to give this a while, you also find like a weird green spell focus looking thing. Kind of like the weird like void crystal you found earlier.
A green spell focus.
Mm-hmm.
What happens if I hold 2 spell focuses?
At the same time.
It's like it would be a green laser.
You don't
What
know.
if I duct
You'd have to
tape
try it
them?
out.
Oh, I could duct tape them together and they become the same item. That works.
Are you gonna duct tape the two together?
I don't have that.
Oh.
But there's like a combined item we've had before.
Yeah, there is a duct tape orb. I
could
think
be
somebody
a
still has
nature's
one. I
laser
gave.
still
I have a
orb.
ducting orb.
No, you used yours, Bird.
No, I didn't. Did I?
Yeah,
Let me check my
yeah.
inventory.
Glaive Axe of Burning Wonder.
The
Or I'm
glaive
sorry, Exploding Wonder.
Exploding.
Or Glorious Explosions. Or Wondrous Explosions. Takes a while to get through the name there.
Ah, shit, you're right.
Yep.
Let me remove that from my inventory. Oh, I already did. Disregard me.
I actually found out that Abraxas is a creature with tentacle legs. Haha! Oh, that existed.
Okay. Anyway, so you found hella stuff for you in there.
Yeah. And also I found peace and quiet. Away from awkward party conversation. What is happening? What is happening right now?
Oh, where were we? Oh,
Lauren,
hello?
what do you hope to find when you find your father?
Well, I hope to find,
Approval.
well, an explanation as to why he left the Tritons. And who his patron really is. 'Cause it's
What do you
been
think he's
far
going to
too long.
answer?
I don't know. All I know is that I really hope that his patron isn't behind all this some way.
What if his patron is Vivi? Do you think Vivi's evil?
Well, Vivi
Vivi is
definitely
definitely
betrayed
evil.
us, but she's probably not
What
my
makes you think
father's
that,
patron.
Skitter?
I mean, she blew it. She tried to blow us up.
Yeah, she really did betray Dimitri. I kind of, weirdly enough, I miss Dimitri, but I mean, that's just me, right? Like, behind my tough, murderous exterior, I actually do care about all of you. Somewhat. Kinda. As best as I possibly can. My heart is kind of shriveled. Boy, this circlet of intelligence is really having a weird effect on my thinking.
Well, all I must say is that it's been quite a breath of fresh air, quite literally, to have finally come to the land of terrestrial beings and discovered so many different peoples. Tritons are pretty
Yeah, I've always
monotonous
been here.
in their way of thinking and in their And
Going
they're
above the surface of the water was a breath of fresh air.
yes,
Shut.
yes.
I was mostly coming here to, well, I had to report to Gorlar. I wasn't really counting on the fact of being possessed when I returned to him. That really threw quite a wrench in my plans. But, well, I guess I'm my own man now, as the leader of the Greg clan, which,
I'm
that
vetoing
name
that
needs
one.
to be worked on.
I am vetoing that name.
Alright. Lauren, you're not in the clan, but you're probably the best person I know to come up with names. So I'm gonna commission you for a name for the clan. Greg
What?
pulls out 10 gold and commissions Lauren for a better name for the clan than the Greg clan.
I think this belongs on choosing beggars.
Alright.
Skitter.
I will translate the word Greg into another language,
You're
such
just gonna
as...
throw it through Google Translate a billion
No,
times.
shut the fuck up. I'm translating Greg into Dwarvish and seeing what comes out. God. This is stupid.
What is
See
it?
What comes
What
out.
did you get?
What?
I'm getting results for Dwarvish backpacks. So
Oh.
clearly, the internet did not expect this stupid Google result. Alright,
Okay.
let's post this up. Tell you what, on the subreddit dedicated to Grave of Man, go ahead and post clan names, and I will pick which one I like the most, and that'll be the clan name for this one. But for now, the
Rebranded.
unnamed clan that consists of 2 people, myself and Skitter here. I guess this changes my last name too.
Yeah. I mean, could be worse. Your last name could be Steve.
Steve is an awful, awful last name, if I may say.
It's almost like he was a disposable character that was supposed to die like 6 months ago.
Oh my god, what's that sound I hear? It's
Fix-
Drez breaking the 4th fucking wall.
You
What a
just
surprise!
said
It must be a
subreddit. You said
it must
subreddit.
be a day that ends in Y. Because Drez broke the 4th fucking wall.
I was slotted to die on the first episode.
It's not. This
And
is
yet
my normal
here you
voice.
are.
This isn't the dress voice.
I hear no difference.
That's because I thought it was wrong to kill you, Skitter. You're the last one.
I was gonna kill
We
you.
hadn't even had the opportunity to try to
You
negotiate.
just said that out loud.
Wait, what?
He said he was gonna kill him. to
No,
his
no,
new
no.
clanmate.
I was gonna kill him, but then I didn't kill him. And that was the first time I ever reconsidered killing something. Ever. Ever. And I'm glad I didn't kill you.
Yay. Anyway, should we get maybe going? The lizard folk are starting to look a little antsy.
Wait, you didn't even
You
make
noticed
that
they're
choice, did
twitching.
you?
No.
That was Dimitri.
Ah.
And Lauren, you're good at talking. Talk to these
he was
people.
spared by the other character.
We spared him because we didn't want to kill him because we want to get more information.
You're taking credit retroactively for Dimitri.
Shut
sparing
up. It's
Skitter.
me taking credit retroactively is not the first time that's happened, okay?
Oh, in any case, sorry for the.
No, it's fine.
Master?
Don't worry about it. This is I like learning about new people, especially people that have saved my life.
Did that
Are you
happen?
sure about that? Wasn't he? He's actually a different dwarf than the one that we had supposedly saved.
You do not recognize this dwarf.
Oh, he's saying that now that we've put him through all that, we owe him a life saving.
Well, no. Like
to make up for it.
when we
have to save
initially
him later.
approached the group, it was just generic dwarf image, and so we're like, "Oh, are you the dwarf that we met earlier?" And he was like, "Yes," even though he. So,
Yes, but also no. I'm not that dwarf. You should come with me. I think you've been rolling an investigate check, Dress.
As I'm just looting all of the rooms.
Yeah, you find another storeroom.
Yeah.
Anyway.
well, in any case, oh,
Okay,
well,
you
who-
find some more things.
These are good rolls.
who are all
Keep
of you?
telling
And
stories over there.
Well,
how did you come to be in the Reclaimers? I suppose I would call it a
well,
what do you call it? Orchard?
this would
It's
well, they call it the draining dungeon.
the
It's
draining
a bit on the
dungeon.
nose, but it's true. I mean, you've seen the cells. I assume that's where you came from. That's where we were originally, until we weren't. When we died.
You died?
Well, yes. Here, you should come with me. This really will make more sense if you follow me.
Wait, but
So he leads you down the hall
Ah.
into that room.
wait. I did not consent to being dragged into this room.
He is lightly tugging you by the hand
This
and
calls
is
for a
Help!
tail
with
whip.
I'm not trying to do anything dastardly.
Well,
This
no, it's
room
just
is harmless.
it's just
He says before the blood sacrifice.
well, we ran into this giant viscous monster that was a culmination of the souls
Oh.
of so many people. Wasn't that produced in this very room?
That yeah, we locked it in there. I'm sorry about that. I hope it didn't give you too much trouble. Unfortunately, we lost our equipment a long time ago, and we've been, well, making do with, well, rusty makeshift weaponry and whatnot.
But you said you died. How?
Well, yes. So that's what this is. This is, I guess, if you're familiar with the repertoire of druids, this is a
reincarnation chamber?
yes, that exactly.
So that's why you want to look like a dwarf.
He like kind of tries to hide the string going around his ears.
You,
Shut up.
I'm sorry.
Don't look at it.
Skitter.
Yeah.
He was put in an elf's body, even though he's really a dwarf at heart.
Uh-huh. Skitter's like hiding his belt of dwarven kind under his shirt.
Oh yeah, that would help him.
This is a dwarf trans safe room.
So
Shut.
what were you two before looking at the
I
dragonborn?
mean, I guess I suppose we didn't explain that properly, but you've met us. Do you remember Flesh Render at all?
Oh yes, we.
Do you remember his snacks?
Yeah, there was a room with a wizard in brown robes and dwarf and a halfling and.
So, as you say, dwarf and halfling, and then pause. The elf raises his hand. The dragonborn raises her hand, and then the dwarf waits expectantly.
Another halfling?
Nope,
Did
And-
the elf get reincarnated?
Was there another elf?
nope. I was a human, but I guess I'm a dwarf now. It could be worse. I have less qualms about it than Siegfried here, but that's okay. Bygones be bygones. We're alive, and we're not sick anymore, which, I would say is a win.
I'm sorry, I forgot what you were before.
It's okay. It's been almost, a month? And we don't exactly, we weren't exactly communicative at the time.
Yeah, the reason why we were blabbering on back there is because we really haven't had a moment to sit down and talk with one another.
So he chose the weirdest time of all.
It happens. Revelations on the edge of lava-filled precipices. I understand. Or in this case, just in front of random folks. But anyway, this, I guess, is what I'm supposed to show you. We were told to wait here and be, I guess, a friendly face of a sort, as you guys come through. Just in case. You seem to be a bit heavy-handed with your dealings.
Wait, but let me get this straight. The druids are trying to reincarnate people that have come down with the sickness that they planted?
No, they didn't plant. So they poisoned the city, yes, and I mean that's quite dreadful. But no, all of Zagnoth was sick well before the druids ever arrived.
What were they sick with?
Well,
And don't give me that whole thing about like greed and debauchery because
well, I mean, this city was it's quite corrupt.
because this doesn't.
Ha-
It's just a
have you ever been to Zagnoth before?
No, I'd actually never been.
It
to
was
the
a
shore.
shitty place. I hated it here. But I guess there was good money and good work as an adventurer. We used to be such people. We were, I don't know, I would say we were famous adventurers of some degree or another. But the thing is, the city was sick, not just in a philosophical sense, but it was sick in a metaphysical sense as well.
Metaphysical? You mean spiritually?
Have you killed something in the city and found like a slug or a worm?
Oh yes, I bring out my vial with the little purple thing inside it.
Oh Jesus, you should burn that.
Burn it? Why?
That is the corruption. That is the physical embodiment of the sickness. It's disease in pure form.
Well, it seems as though the corpses give off plenty of these things and they try to crawl towards people.
Yes, well, I mean that's what happens. They're everywhere.
And where did it originate from?
Well, I mean, I guess we've just been referring to them as the cults. They haven't exactly been very good at advertising their branding, but I mean, you had to have met the mind flayers.
Why, yes, but were they once the nobles?
Yes.
So the nobles created a cult that used these worms to taint the populace so that the druids could poison the populace and put them into new bodies so that they were free of the cult. Taint.
Yeah, you make it sound like the Reclaimers are in cahoots. But no, they're the ones that discovered the sickness. They're the ones that, well, they came and they had a solution.
No, I wasn't saying that what they were doing was wasn't in the best interests of the people, but they could have been forthright about it rather than.
How can you be forthright with the people that cast you out to begin with? That would, burn you the moment they heard the truth. I mean, we ourselves were on our way to kill the Reclaimers when they caught us.
Then why have they been attacking people that haven't been afflicted with the taint?
Everyone in this city is sick.
How do you know?
Because
we are the Walking Dead.
I mean, you walked past that creature. That is the byproduct of the purification process. That was just us.
The three of you?
Yes.
But how does one know it affects absolutely everyone?
You can't take that risk.
Is there a test? Is there...
The only test is the draining chambers. Or death.
So what you're saying is someone could be completely immune or unfazed by this thing, but you have to cast away their old bodies and give them a new one anyway.
Pretty much, yes. I mean, have you figured out how to remove those worms from people? Have you even tried?
Well, they don't like holy water.
Huh. I would take an inordinate amount of holy water. I mean, have you seen how large the populace is here?
Well, that's true. What made the people acquire it in the first place?
I mean, we don't know. The Reclaimers certainly don't know. They wish they did.
Was it because of
probably
this?
Have to.
I pull out a healing potion.
That could be it. They could have just been sneaking it in.
Well, this is actually the blood of someone we've become acquainted with.
Right. That's. Huh. And so his blood creates the taint?
Well, they've been milking it from him. He's been trapped there for decades, apparently.
I mean that could do it, but that doesn't solve the problem.
Wait, so, Skitter, does that mean because we've been using healing potions we're also tainted? Beast?
Yeah.
Beast?
Yes.
Are we tainted with your blood because we drank your blood?
I mean, yes. But also, I think
Is it going to turn into worms and
no.
ooze out of our pores?
My blood is just there to feed the worms.
It feeds the worms.
Yes, and makes them stronger.
But where are the worms? Where do the worms come from?
Well, I'd suppose you'd have to ask the source.
What's the source?
The cult?
Oh. Wait, so the cult grows worms out of your blood? Or they feed your blood to the worms?
I am the fertilizer.
Oh. Then how do they get the worms into people?
How do you drink a potion?
We drink it.
Oh, God, no.
Wait, does that mean that we have intestinal parasites right now, Mr. Beast?
To be fair, we've had our minds taken over by this guy. Intestinal parasites is...
I mean,
it's
it's
par for the course. Yeah. Shut up, Drez.
Having healing spells would do that.
I don't think you've used a healing potion this entire time. I think you're right.
I've been
Wait,
unconscious
what?
before, and Shell has force-fed one to me before.
I don't know. Maybe Skitter has. I don't know if Shell's ever done that.
Drez has been subjected to a potion, I believe.
Yeah.
I know
poor
I've had
guy.
a couple potions.
I don't know if it was that type, though.
Well, that's the thing. I thought all health potions were.
I mean, probably most health potions in Zagnoth.
Oh, sorry if it seemed like I was blabbering into space. Just to have a kind of psychic bond with him. He's well below the fort, though. Have you escaped, Mr. Beast?
Me? Escape is, escape is less of a, no.
Well, since I got rid of the crystal taint, what happened?
You should maybe come visit sometime. It's nicer down here, I guess.
Nicer.
Yes. Unfortunately, I'm going to need a particularly, substantial dimensional rift to get out of here. But I've at least made myself at home.
Substantial dimensional rift? The only person I know who could manage that would be Vivi. Ah. So, does that mean that we have to get transformed too?
I think that's what the Reclaimers were hoping from you.
There has to be a way to remove the taint
They've
without having
been trying this for years. The only way to remove it is to die.
Did they try cure disease?
Yes, that was our leader, their leader. That he subjected it himself to it first, and well, cure disease is it's like
I have to
taking
ask
a
after the
Tylenol.
wizards that didn't use Dispel Magic.
It's like taking Tylenol for the flu. It doesn't get rid of it. It just gets rid of the symptoms for a while.
Cast it hard?
The hell's Tylenol?
But what happens to people that don't have the worms removed?
I mean, you've seen them. They're the Walking Dead all over. Or worse, the flares themselves. Those are the ones that willingly gave themselves to the worms.
Huh. Weirdos.
There has to be a way to reverse this without putting everyone into a form that they weren't born with.
I mean, that's sort of what the druids have been working on. They've mostly got it down. And you should have seen it worse. People were turning into badgers. At least I have fingers now. For a while,
Back in
I mean,
the 3.5 version of the ritual.
yeah.
Meta jokes.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose what we have to do is finally meet justice with the nobles. But first, we have to find the magicians in the mages district.
You really don't want to do that.
Why is that?
So the mages, they might not have had a hand in the cult, but if anything, they might have done something worse.
What was that?
Well, so the Reclaimers and the Wizards discover the solution to, well, not the solution. They discovered the problem at about the same time. The Reclaimers, well, they had, I wouldn't say the more holistic approach, but they had the less extreme. The Wizards, well, they figured out how to delete time.
Excuse
time.
the hell out of me.
You just open
They
the
were going
calendar
to
app, Control A, Control.
They were going to
delete.
reboot the, well, parts of this plane of existence and, well, parts of some others in an attempt to just eradicate the problem completely.
So what you're saying is they wanted to go back in time to prevent the nobles from making their worms and populace.
Yes. In so many words, yes.
Would it be one of those things where everyone but the people involved in the ritual would forget?
Potentially,
no.
but like, how would you know? How would you even control that?
Now we have to question time travel plots. That's dangerous right there. What if we're immune to disease?
These are parasites. Parasites are different than diseases. But then again, we didn't get worms in us, right? We just... Mr. Beast, I'm confused.
Yes.
Does your blood have worms in them?
No.
Okay,
Gross. They tried that. I killed them.
Worm blood.
so we're not going to turn into shambling undead from drinking your blood, right?
Well,
What a sentence.
Ew.
where are you sourcing those healing potions you've been drinking? I would have brought it up earlier, but you were at least 10 potions deep by the time I found you.
Well, where did we find our potions? I mean...
In crates, barrels, chests, all over the city.
Well, some were from Merrick. The most recent ones have been from Merrick.
Oh, the Merrick ones are good. They're fine.
What if I've only ever been force-fed Merrick potions?
That's the thing.
That's a genuine
Wander,
possibility. I
You
haven't.
should have made a distinction between, like, pink potions and red potions, because now I don't know what potions we've had.
As far as I know, I'd say it's a 50-50 chance on Drez, and then everybody else.
Everyone else is guaranteed.
How does my literal immunity to disease factor in?
No, you got it.
Because I'm actually immune to disease.
Flip a coin between episodes and then we'll know.
Okay. Yeah. I flipped the coin, and now I know.
Oh man, that's the answer I didn't expect, but definitely
the non-answer.
wanted. That's the one I wanted.
So if we drank a potion that was concocted by them, then we're doomed?
Doomed? No, you just. Well. You have to die. I mean, it's
Damn.
fairly painless. It's just.
But then, I mean, look at all of you. You're no longer the race that you were born to be.
I
You're
mean,
just.
eh.
I mean, I can understand, like, being able to adapt and all, but being a Triton and fighting off the Leviathans, that's such an integral part of my identity.
You
My
don't.
father won't even recognize me. And if I go back to the Tritons, they would. I might not even be able to if
Make
I'm
a
incapable
perception
of
check, by the
breathing
way.
underwater again. That would be terrible. I would never be able to see my home.
Make a perception check, by the way.
Oh, okay.
No, that's not enough.
Uh-oh.
Ah!
Bird, is Greg just hanging out back there thinking about new clan names?
I
hard to
dominated
work.
the first part of this episode to speak in total meta. I'm letting other people have a chance.
Okay.
Brainstorming clan names is hard work.
Yeah, okay, that's the official explanation, is that Greg is contemplating clan names.
And Drez is stuck in a co-op door, but his co-op partner is the DM.
Oh, right, the loot that you've got. Sorry. You find the only other thing that you find in there, because really I just have one pool for items. But you rolled a nat 20, so that kind of threw me off. You find what looks to almost be kind of like an elaborately carved it's like a necklace made out of wood and bone and stuff.
Ooh,
And something about it feels like strikingly familiar.
that sounds druidy. That's a good number.
Okay. It is it's not unlike the choker that Alarin has. It just gives you a +1 on druidy stuff. There's more to it, but it's missing bits.
All right, druid choker +1 on druidy stuff.
So if you can justify it as a druid thing, you probably get a +1 while wearing it.
God damn. That'll be interesting to figure out how to math out.
So probably like +1 to nature, +1 to spell DCs, spell attacks. Not spell slots. That'd be a bit broken.
+1 to entire body.
That's not a
Just
druid
I
thing.
gain a second druid.
Yes, but no, you'll find that one out later.
I don't like how many mysteries are built into my character.
Your
The list is
character
getting
is.
really long.
I was just saying, your character is built of like 4 mysteries at this
No,
point.
it's fine. I would estimate we're about 5 episodes from the Drez.
My character sheet has become a mosaic sensor.
So anyway, now that you found your familiar necklace thing, are you just gonna keep rifling through stuff, or are you just gonna hang out in there?
Ooh. Shiny green thing that I should probably look at in some capacity.
Okay.
Especially since I don't believe people ever... Ah, shit.
Okay.
Those aren't helpful.
Not
Religion?
overwhelmingly.
I don't know what counts. It's green. I just pulled a
So
full...
as you enter the room to look at the crystal, you do notice that Alarn is panicking.
That's normal?
I don't want to be anything but a Triton. This can't be.
Insight?
As far as you can tell, they're telling the truth. Whatever they're telling the truth about.
Yeah, I don't know what they said. Well.
Drez, they said that the druids poisoned the populace not because they wanted to rid a disease of, like, say, the mind, but because they were all afflicted with some kind of vile parasitic worms from the nobles, and that these people had been reincarnated into new bodies to discard their old ones. And if we ingested any of the beast's tainted blood, then we might also die too.
Greg Kool-Aid Man's into the room. And he's like, I got it! I got it!
What?
Greglin.
No.
What?
No. As the financial backer of this clan, I veto.
How are you the financial backer?
I've
got like
He has
2,000
all the-
gold.
He has all the
I've
money.
got like nearly 1 million.
What?
I'm very wealthy. Turns out playing the Paxi stock markets is real easy if you can sneak into boardrooms.
He owns a knife dimension.
Greg starts doing an audit of Skitter's inventory.
Okay,
You're
it is
auditing.
suspiciously empty of anything, but you also
Auditing.
can't seem to find his bag of holding.
Skitter, we're in a blood clan. We're
Yeah.
both co-founders. I want to
Uh-huh.
know what you're contributing to our coffer as a mutual owner of this clan.
We will have to do logistics after we deal with Alarin's crisis. Probably this is no time for accounting.
Fair point. What's a Lawrence crisis? I missed it.
Well, imminent identity crisis, I guess.
Lauren,
yeah.
you are who you say you are. You're a good person. You're a kind person.
It's not
You're
that.
a Greg person.
Our bodies might be infected, and we have to get rid of them. And these poor people, they were the human, the halfling, and the dwarf that we met all the way back in the district with Fleshrender.
Oh, I look at the dragon lizardy thing, and I'm like, which one was he? She?
I think she was the elf. Oh, sorry, not the. Wait, it was a human, a dwarf, and a halfling. Halfling.
Yep.
Who's the halfling?
I got tall.
Huh. How'd that work out for you?
Can't complain.
Fair point.
Used to be the short one. Now I'm the
So
tall
what are
one.
you freaking out about, Lauren?
I'm
But
freaking
now
out
she
about the
can't
fact
lay
that.
down. She has to sleep on her belly because she has nightmare horns.
Yeah, I never quite understood how races with horns sleep. It must be. Well, they said that the druids, they've been killing people intentionally so that they can discard their old bodies and get new ones. But as you can tell, the results, they're random. I mean, they did refine the process so that you become humanoid instead of animals, but there has to be another way. There has to be a way that we can be cleansed of the taint without having to get rid of our natural forms. Because otherwise we might end up like the undead. But how long did it take the people to even reach that state? We've been in Zagnoth for a couple weeks now, at least. What has it been, a month? Surely we would have felt some kind of side effects by
Drez
now.
and Greg make perception checks.
I found it.
Okay. So Drez, you notice that there is the door has like melded into the wall, and that there's stuff creeping down the from the ceiling.
Holy shit.
It's a trap.
You lured us in here, didn't you?
I mean, you came willingly,
What
but
a surprise.
No,
People
you
saying
dragged
that
me
we
here by
have to
the
die
hand.
lured us into a trap.
Fair point, but this is the only way to cure you. I assure you, it's painless, and well, then you'll be cured.
I rolled for initiative.
You can't have my body, even my dead body. Ah! I dimension door out.
Okay. Huh. Well,
Well, can anyone else come with me through the dimension door?
did the rest of you feel like dying?
You don't want to be brood mother Alarin?
And then Triets drop into the room.
Trients?
We'll go with these. Yeah.
That picture.
Look, fan submissions. I'll take them, especially if they're adorable and hilarious looking.
I run to the elves and the lizard folk.
So you notice
Yeah?
that the lizard folk have killed the drow.
They've killed the... No!
All those dicks.
Bisa and Ralik. I think that's what their names
no, the
were.
people who were in on the plan that you're running from, that you ran towards now.
How could you?
Alarin might be in more danger.
Yeah, I might be.
Well, orders are orders. The boss man said help out the druids, and the druids say kill everybody, so, well, here we are.
What happens if we push a treant into the reincarnation crystal?
I don't know. Find that out on the next episode.
What Past Me said. I'd do a longer outro, but I bit my tongue. So, I guess you'll just have to find out everything on the next episode of Dungeons & Dragons: Grave of Man.